bit of a different video. I think I've only ever done one story time video, and it was my creepy neighbour. I'll link that video below. So the title's not clickbait. I have genuinely witnessed a robbery. The other one was an attempted robbery. I'm not sure if they got away with it or not. I really don't know. When I say robbery, like, it sounds so dramatic. Burglary. There you go. All the people that love hearing Scottish people say burglary are going to be like, yes. And for some reason I can remember the first one better than I can remember the second one. And the second one was more recent. Anyway, we'll get into this. When I was in primary school, it must have been, so before high school, I think. It was just before, like maybe a couple of years before I went into high school, so I was probably about 9 or 10. So we used to stay next to a factory. Our house was just over the fence from this factory, and one night, I don't know why, I don't know how this always happens to me, I was looking out my window. I can't remember what time it was. I feel like it was the middle of the night, because why would someone rob somewhere during the day? I don't know, maybe they do. I don't know, I'm not a robber. I don't know how it works. I don't know how they do that these days. But I was looking out my window and I just saw this little man. Well, I say little man, he wasn't that little, he was just an average sized man, and he was climbing out the window of the factory and he had a bag over his shoulder. Like, picture your stereotypical robber in the wee black and white outfit with the, it wasn't like that. He did have a bag over his shoulder, but he wasn't like, you know, in the outfit. I wish he was. And he was climbing down and I was like, oh my god, there's a guy coming out the window of this factory. He's clearly robbed the place. So being a child, I was like, what the hell did I do? So I called my mum. I was like, Mum! And then she came into my room and I was like, look Mum, like, there's someone robbing the factory. So she looked out the window, phoned the police. The police came, proceeded to chase the guy in their police car. They didn't even get out and run after him. They chased, so the guy runs round the police car. So the police car's taking like 5 hours to like reverse, do this like 10-point turn to turn out and chase the guy. I'm like, just get out your car and run after him. I should have went and caught him. Yeah, so I saw someone robbing the factory next to me, but I don't know if he was caught or not. I'm pretty sure they didn't catch him actually. I'm pretty sure they were so bad at doing this 10 million point turn in their car that they failed to actually catch the guy running down the street. So maybe they did catch him eventually, I don't know. But yeah, witnessed a robbery. Second one was only a couple of years ago, I think, and I'm a light sleeper, right? I'm a really light sleeper, so any noise will wake me up, and that is what obviously happened with the first one. With the second one, I heard a bang, like a sort of like, I just heard noise outside my house, right? I got up and I was like, I can't remember if I put the light on or not. I think I put the light on. Yeah, I was one of those guys. Wasn't thinking. I looked out the window and there was 2 men trying to break into our house. This was in, I've moved house by this point, by the way. I'm in the house that I'm in now, which I've now lived in longer than the last one. This is like, it's a nice area and nothing bad like that ever really happens. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were going for the car. This is the one that's fuzzy in my head. I can't quite remember how it actually happened, but there was 2 men outside the house. They gave up in our house. I don't know why. I think we just have extra good protection. I don't know. We had a dog, but he wasn't barking. I don't know why they gave up in our house, but they gave up. Then they went to the house that's diagonally opposite me, and I was just watching them, and they were trying to, I can't remember if they were trying to get into the cars or if they were trying to get into the house. And then, right, as I was looking out the window, one of the men looked up at the window, and I must have had my light on, because why would he look up at the window? I must have been an idiot and put the light on. He looked up at the window and I was like ducking down, and I think at this point I turned the light off. I was like ducking down, like, oh my god, panic, he spotted me. At this point I was old enough to call the police, but instead, Mum! So Mum came in. Again, I was like, Mum, there's a robbery. Yes, she phoned the police and they never showed up. I think eventually I watched the guys for a while and I think they gave up. I'm not 100% sure, unless I just gave up on them and fell asleep. I don't know. I don't know if anybody get their house robbed or their car robbed, or if I managed to stop a robbery this time. I don't think I actually managed to stop any robberies, because I'm pretty sure the police never caught the first guy. I really hope this doesn't happen again. Oh, there was one time I thought I was going to get robbed. Right, I'm living in a constant horror film in my head, so I always think something's going to happen at some point. I was in the house myself, and I've always got this image of like a fake gas man coming to the door, or a fake gas person, and then it's actually a murderer. I'll let them in, I get murdered, I never asked them for their ID or whatever. So the gas man came to the door. He said, can I come in and check your boiler? And I said, oh, there's no one in. I was home alone. My mum and dad were, I don't know where they were. I was like, yeah, there's no one in. And he went, but you're in? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, come in. Absolute tit. I just looked so stupid, but I was just trying to prevent him from actually coming in. As if me saying, no, there's no one in, he's not going to go, alright, cool, see you later. Like, obviously he can see that I'm in. That was such a stupid thing to do. Again, I was too old to be doing stuff like that. He didn't murder me, clearly. I'm alright. There was another time where I thought there was someone in the loft attic. If you've watched my creepy neighbour story, you'll know that I was so paranoid after that whole experience that I thought, like, that's why I've got like a post-it note over my webcam, because I'm just convinced he's watching me still. If he still lived here, I would be convinced that he was in my loft, but I don't know how he would have got in, but for some reason I just felt like he was watching me, and I don't know why. I think it's just because of how creepy he was. And then there was times, must have been a ghost, but I could hear stuff in the loft, and it was probably like an animal or squirrels or something, but it was like creaking or something, I don't know, but it's not noises that we normally hear. So that convinced me that someone was in the loft, and I did go up and check one day and there was nobody there, but I was convinced that that neighbour was in the loft keeping an eye on me. Moral of the story is, don't commit any robberies up my area, because I will see it again as well. Don't try and rob me, because I will find you, because you'll be in my house and I will kill you, but I probably won't, because I am a wuss. I do have a Bear Grylls knife in my drawer, which I'm now going to move because now you know where it is. Oh my god, please don't rob me. Thank you and goodbye. Anyway, I hope you liked my wee story time video. I never do these. You can follow me on all my social media. I'll link everything down below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.